So yesterday I made a video about how you shouldn't block abundance, no matter in which shape or form it came. Like no matter if it was about money or opportunities or compliments or gifts or whatever it was. And I make this video and because it's really something I'm practicing. And then about an hour later, just after I posted this video, I did exactly what I said you shouldn't do and what I said I shouldn't or wouldn't do. And it was so sneaky because I didn't even realize that that was what I was doing until after I did the thing. And that's, I think, one of the tricky parts about all of this, trying to like rewire your system or the programs running subconsciously. It's because they can show up in so many ways, and some of them are really sneaky because it can feel like you're just being sensible or realistic or just wise for some reason. And if you're not paying very good attention, you're not even gonna realize what you're actually doing. And so yesterday it was such a little thing, but it's still one of these situations where when you do it, and in this case it was basically just rejecting or closing off from getting compliments, but in a way where it seemed sensible because I was scared that someone was getting ahead of themselves and was building fantasies instead of like being realistic. I'm really beginning to not like that word. And I even said it because I didn't think before it was over. But it was in a small way, but I have this pattern where for as long as I remember, I haven't really trusted men. And there are many reasons why, but most of them does not make any sense, or it's not something I should carry around. But it shows up in this way that I kind of, if someone's being nice to me, especially if it's someone I don't know well, like I just met, or it's early in the relationship, whatever that kind of relationship is, I kind of mistrust, right? I don't necessarily trust what they're saying, or I close off if they're being nice or too nice. They don't need to be like over the top and say, well, let's get married like next month. It's not like that. It can just be like just basically being nice and open and saying what they think and feel and all of the good stuff, pretty much. So it's not like it's love bombing territory, because of course that is different, but it's just people being nice and trying to be nice to you. But I have this where I don't feel it's time yet, or I don't feel it's appropriate, because I have this fear of them getting ahead of themselves and then like going away afterwards. So I think I can't trust them because I have this story running that I can't trust men and they don't show up for me, especially not in the long run. And of course, those stories doesn't come from nothing, but often they're not rooted in reality. And even if it was, it still is not a reason to mistrust everyone, and it's not really a story you want to keep carrying around. But I only noticed afterwards that it was not really about what was being said, but I have this fear of how I come off, or what is expected of me if someone is nice to me or buys me something or just putting in more effort. Then I have this, oh, then do I owe someone something then? Or yeah, what is expected of me if I, receive this? And then I'm closing off because I'm trying to manage those expectations and trying to not put myself in uncomfortable situations. But what happens is I'm trying to protect myself, but not from anything real. And I am basically just closing myself off. I am trying to manage when they're allowed to do or say something, when it is okay for them to be nice to me or buy me dinner or beer or whatever, and how they perceive me, what they expect from me. But all of those things are not in the mind to manage. It's not something I can control, and it's not something sometimes I do want to control it, but it's not something I can control. I can't decide or control what is going on in someone else's mind, how they feel if they buy me dinner. Let's say that if someone takes me out to dinner, I have no way of knowing what the reason behind that is. The only thing, and I can't control it. I don't have anything to do with that. And most likely there is no ulterior motive. It's just them trying to be nice and showing that they like me, or want to make an effort, or want to show that they like me, or whatever, have a nice time. I'm pretty sure that 9 out of 10 or 90 out of 100 or something, that is the only ulterior motive. And if not, again, that's not mine to manage. I don't have any control over that. What I do have control over is how I react, how I feel, and how I respond if someone is trying to offer me something. If it's something I actually want to receive, I can say yes. And if not, I can say no. And what happens from there, it's not mine to manage, and I have no control over that. And it was just kind of an eye-opener, because it can feel like you're trying to maybe protect yourself if you have experienced kind of men, or also the other way around, coming on strong or saying a lot of nice things about you, and then they kind of disappeared after a short period of time, where you actually started to like them a lot or something. So you got hurt or disappointed, which make you close off. But again, that is not really yours to manage. You have no idea what's going on in someone else's mind, and you can't control it, and you can't control their actions. And you can try to protect yourself all you want, but it's not gonna work. The only thing it does when you close off like this, and I'm speaking very much to myself here, that is, you're just rejecting all the good things that someone and the world is trying to offer you because you think you can protect yourself, but it's not really protection. It's just you missing out on all the good things. And I was kind of laughing at myself when I realized this, because I have really been consciously trying to say to myself or work with that I want a partner who can, say how he feels, and who can take initiative and wants to give, like in all areas pretty much. And it's just so ironic that something shows up, and it's not like it's about this person, because I don't know him. It's just about when someone then actually comes along and offers you these things, you just go, oh, no thank you, nope, 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 I don't want any of this, just go away and dial it back down, because this is too much. And it's just like, what the fuck are you doing right now? You're trying to call something in with one hand, and then the other you're just saying no thank you, nope, because it doesn't show up maybe in the way you expected it to, or in the timeline you expected it to, or something like that. And it's just, people being people, and just comes to show how how not simple this rewiring of patterns is, because it does show up in many, many different ways. And even if you think you're kind of on top of it, or you're aware and trying to catch yourself when you're trying to close off, then it still just shows up in a different costume, which at the first glance can seem like you're just being sensible and reasonable when you kind of reject this. But it's not. It's just, again, fear and control wearing different costumes. And again, those little tests that you get to see if you're actually able to hold what you say you want. And I find it so interesting, and also pretty humbling that that I can just sit here and talk about this, and 1 fucking hour later I'm still doing the thing. But at least I am aware, and even though I still fuck up very often, I catch myself quicker and quicker, and I'm able to rectify or say, sorry, my bad, I'm just being a little bit silly now, which was also what I did in this situation. And most people will understand. But it's still, I would prefer to just not to catch myself before I actually am being stupid. But practice makes perfect. I'm counting on it. So, or at least better. And that there is definitely progress, but I just wanted to share that how stupid I was being, and how many different costumes the same fear is wearing. And yeah, it's a very interesting process. And I hope this gave some kind of value or insight, and I will, as always, love to hear your thoughts in the comment field. about all of this, and if it's something you struggle with as well, and you fall in the same traps as well, because this is really something that is being rebuilt or rewired in real time. It's not something I have gone through and now I am just perfectly fixed. No, 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 no. It's something that keeps showing up in different ways. And it's always nice to hear when other people are going through some of the same things or can relate to what you're saying. So if that is you, or even if it's not, I would love to hear about it. And also if there's anything else you want to have a conversation about. So hopefully I will see you in the comment field or in the next video, and until then, take care. Bye.